Jim, would you tell us a little bit about specialized grips in your martial arts?
Yes, even in Kempo, there was many hand positions, and any Kempo studio usually has them on the wall. One that we always notice is like where the index finger is straight up and the other three fingers are curled. That's called Kyusao in some styles of Kung Fu. And it's used, you see it in Hungar, you see it, as I say, in Kempo. I use it a lot myself. You see it sometimes with two fingers, one finger. So and these are grips. They're not just hand positions. They almost look like a one-handed mudra of some kind, but they're actually a specialized grip. And when I was training in Seattle with Sensei David Harris, he kind of challenged me once. He said, "You use your hands too much, James." And I wasn't sure what he meant. And I asked that. I just said, "What does that mean?" He says, "Quit using your hands. They're getting in your way. They're limiting, your overuse of your hands is limiting your overall ability." Wow, I was like stunned. And he says, "Haven't you ever noticed how little I use my hands?" And I say, "Well, I guess, yeah, I never really thought about it." He goes, "I hardly ever use my hands, and you use your hands for everything." He said, "If I did like you did, I couldn't do anything." And I'm like, okay. He says, "Here's the challenge. Quit using your hands. Learn to do everything that you can do, that you know, but don't use your hands." Well, that's a lot. That's a heck of a mouthful there. But I accepted it and started studying, and it seems even kind of silly at first. But wow, it was a great study, the better part of 10 years. And it led to the specialized grips. That when I did go back to my hands, then it was like, yeah, now let's learn these. I'll show you these and what these do, so that you have that one-touch authority. And again, I wasn't really aware of too many of these specialized grips until I was shown them and told how they work. Sometimes they work in combination with other grips. And it's about a feeling. So here we go again with sensitivity. It's not about sensitivity to where you're hit and you feel pain. That's a different type. The sensitivity we're referring to is about the ability to read someone's intentions through your touch. So when you touch them, you know their intention almost the same time as they do. At that point, through your touch, you can command their frame, their body, so that they cannot carry out that intent. And you do this with the movement of your fingers. You do this with your palms. But there's no real hard pressure. So specialized grips are a hidden aspect of many karate systems, kung fu systems. We say China. Right, China and Jiu-Jitsu is pretty obvious though. I mean, you slam somebody into the figure four lock, you can see the figure four, the arms rotating, the jumble of limbs. It's a figure four. But when you see this, you don't see anything. You just see the person kind of immobilized or thrown backwards. And you go, now wait, how can that be? The guy barely moved. Right, that is coming from your hands and your forearms. So you bring out this ability, this knowledge, by knowing where and how to touch, and when they move, the timing of the when to touch. And it's a series of, hidden pressures. And as we know, like in Tai Chi Chuan, you must always have push-pull energy simultaneously operating. Otherwise, it really isn't Tai Chi Chuan. So, and again, there's another one that most people go, how the hell do you have push and pull simultaneously? I know, I was the same way. it made little sense until I was shown the points where the levers and the fulcrums all fit in. And once you understand that this is a precision thing, you start being able to produce a push-pull energy on command that's like a hammer blow. It's a powerful, crushing blow. And it's unseen. You really cannot perceive a physical motion that brings that upon. And those of you who have trained with me and who are listening to this have felt it. I can turn it on from, let's say, 100 pounds to 1,000 pounds, and then let off to nothing. And that's what we're talking about. So specialized grips are like a hidden hand, a himitsu, or something like this, that I think many of us have been taught in the past. Many martial artists may know, but they know them in a form, a lesser form. No one's ever explained it in the way it should be explained. And when you do, it becomes a secondary or third level martial art, a defense system. It may not be a primary defense, it can be, but it is definitely a strong addition to everything else that you may have already learned in the grappling arts and the striking arts. And this is something totally unique and very different. And so I kind of incorporate this into everything. I don't care what it is that I'm doing, what art or what I'm demonstrating, these grips will always be there. I have the choice to say, do I wish to use them or not? And most of the time, they are a total surprise. It's like an ambush. No one expects it. And that's also good, because that means there's no telegraphing whatsoever. It's just an explosion out of nowhere. From something, from a limb or a placement of a limb that no one ever thought would be like that. So I would say study, if you have that option, study these specialized grips. Don't mock them, the things that you may see in the study of Tai Chi or even Silat or Bagua, Kun Tao. They're specialized grips. Understand them. Translate them into your own life and your own world, and you will find a new source of power and command that you will be shocked. I think one that I watch on YouTube is Sam Chin, Ilik Kwan. Ilik Chuan, that's very close to what my teacher had gave me. It's at least the closest I can find, and the same thing. And I think Sam has done things on the Martial Man and many others. He's become very popular. So I would say there is a resource for those of you listening, and you say, well, I can't come train with you, Keating, but where do I look? Start with Sam Chin, and Ilik, L-I-Q, Chuan, and see what you can do there. Because his grip exchanges, his movements are awesome. They're just awesome. And there's other gurus, and you may run into them. They also have a knowledge of this, but I'm just speaking of things that directly relate to what I do. So anyway, that's kind of my take on specialized grips. I know they're controversial, but I found them to be super useful, super good, and certainly, once you master them, very practical.